Welcome, here I've got MEIZU M6T and I'm gonna show you how to use the camera pro mode at this device. So let's start by tapping on the camera button to open it, and for now we are in the standard photo mode. From here let's go to the left corner to this button. When we tap here we get access to other modes of this camera, and as you can see we have the pro mode. So let's pick it. Here we are. This mode gives us possibilities to choose some shooting parameters by ourselves. This is useful when we want to learn photographic skills or making experiments with photography. So let me start with this settings bar. Let's go from the left. The first one button gives us access to this slider, and we can adjust here the shutter speed, so the time of taking photo. And we can pick the spectrum from 1 and 500 of second. This is really short time, and this should be definitely better to objects that are in move, to for example frozen them at the picture with a good light. By going to the right we can make our time much longer to the 10 seconds, so this is the longest time here, and this should be better to objects that are stable. And at the beginning of the slider of course we have the auto settings, so there's no problem to go back to the auto shutter speed. The next one button here is the ISO, so we can adjust the camera sensitivity to light. We can make it less sensitive from 100, and by going to the right more sensitive to 1 and 6000 of it. So I think this spectrum is enough to this kind of camera. And of course at the beginning of this slider we have auto settings. Now let's move to the next one button. Here we have the focusing. We are on the autofocus now. By using this slider we can change it to the manual focus. And this is how to use this. When we want to go back to autofocus we have to just simply tap anywhere at our picture and it goes automatically. But as you can see in my conditions now, using this manually gives us the better effects. Now let's move to the next one button. Here we have the exposure compensation, so we can manage the light of our picture. We are now on the center 0 and 0 parameters. By going to the right we can make our picture more bright and give it more light. By going to the left we can make it more dark. So this is how to use this here. And let's stay on 0 parameters. Let's move to the next one button. Here we have access to the saturation, and we can pick how we want to saturate our colors at the picture. We are on medium. By going to the right we go to the high, and from the left we have the low. So this is how to use this. Now let's move here at this settings bar to the right and to the next one button with contrast, so we can adjust how much we want to contrast our picture, and similarly like in the saturation we can pick from medium contrast, high contrast and the low. So this is how to use this. And let's move to the last one button here, the white balance. Here we can adjust the temperature of our picture. It depends from the light we have in the area where we take a photo. So as you can see we can pick the incandescent light here, then fluorescent light, also sunny light and the cloudy. And this is kind of balance between the blue and the orange light. At the beginning of course we have the auto settings, so now we are again on auto white balance. And this is how to use this. Now let me take a picture by managing all of these settings. So for example the exposure time, so the shutter speed may be here, and the ISO 100, and defocusing, let's stay on this one, the exposure compensation a little bit darker maybe, then saturation high, also maybe high contrast, and the incandescent white balance. And to see my picture let's go to the right to this button. By just one tap here we get quick access to the gallery. As you can see it's not perfect now, so I suggest you to making experiments with all of these settings and just have a good fun. And that's all. Thanks for watching, subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.